This is Staying in the Light, and this is your host, Youngblood, because I stay young and I'm a blood. We're going to talk about a lot of things that are troubling you all. For those who have the time to stick around, usually my videos don't be over 10 to 15 minutes unless I really get into it or someone asks me a question that I am willing to answer. An intelligent question. I answer all intelligent questions. If I don't answer your question, it's because it's not very intelligent, and I don't want to waste time. Time is a very precious thing we have. You know, they say not only is time money, time is life and energy. You watch the movie In Time with what's his name? Uh, I can't think of his name right now. Anyway, yeah, In Time. Watch that movie. You see how precious time is. I'm tired of hearing these melanated people complain about being mistreated by white people. Let me tell you a story. I used to teach public schools, and every time I turned around, the principal's on my back for something. I couldn't do anything right, and the reason they did that because I was always teaching their history. I won't call it Black history. I'll say history of us in the world before 1492, when we was on top of the world. I was teaching that history. So they did everything they could to try to chase me out of school. They framed me. It was funny to me because it was only making me stronger. It wasn't weakening me. But finally, when they got real serious and they started making up real charges that could get me locked up, yeah, just make it manufacturing charges. So I just walked out. I resigned, and I started my own school. The they was trying to get rid of the school from the city, so they practically gave it to us, and we began to clean it up. And I became the principal, and we had teachers, certified teachers, and we ran the school the way we wanted to, because it's our school. Nobody's telling us what to do or how to do it. As long as we following the law, we taught the curriculum the way we designed it, not by anybody else's design. That's the joy of having your own. Nobody can oppress you when you have your own. When you have your own supermarket, and I have experience in a community where we have our own supermarket, who's going to be following you around the store? In your own store, when you're in your own community, who's going to be pulling you aside the road? In your own community, in your own schools, who you going to allow to come in there would dare try to bomb you in your own school? The point being made is this: 60 years ago, someone made a promise to you that you needed to give up, abandon your communities, and force yourself. Eisenhower did it by force of arms for you to attend their schools. And you think you're going to be welcome? The government forced those little girls to go in that Arkansas school. In other words, they say, we're going to put the government force behind this. They wasn't invited to go to their school. And they had their own schools. That's the point. We had to have our own schools because we was a free people. You call it segregation, I call it separation. And we had more being separated than we have now being integrated. You have nothing now. That's why you're a suspect. Everywhere you go, you're a suspect because everybody fears you're going to take what they have. You don't have a community. You move into their community, they think you want to take their community. You don't have a store. You go shopping in their stores, they following you around and say, hey, you're going to steal some out of my store. So all these things you're suffering, people, you brought it on yourselves. You've given up your own and tried to force somebody else to accept you. That was a bad mistake. Your children are paying for it. See, the children don't know what happened. They don't know what you owned back in the day. I'm here to tell you. We owned maybe not a high rise, but we had at least hotels. And you was free in those hotels. Was nobody bugging you about anything. So you go to their hotels, you're suspect because they think you're going to try to tear up their hotel or set it on fire. So they want to know who you are. They keep checking your rooms. They even search your room to make sure you're not coming there to harm them. Anybody who force themselves on other people is suspect. We have our own colleges, best instructors there. But no, you don't want to go there. They telling you're not receiving the best education. You were receiving the best education. That's why they wanted you to close it down because you was out competing them. I don't know if you want to call this uh, gaslighting or whatever you want to call it. But when you are forced to go somewhere, when someone forced you to go somewhere, you're never going to be welcome. Put yourself in the other shoe. If you had a developed community and the government is forcing these people to come to your community, are you going to welcome them? No. They're taking away your freedom. They're taking away your rights to be free. So the shoe's on the other foot. So what I'm saying is that anytime you feel that you are discriminated, that's a big word, get your own. That's the way to fight discrimination. That's the way to make sure your children don't suffer what you choose to suffer, and you choosing to suffer because some of those buildings you abandoned in your neighborhood, they still there. And laziness will keep you a slave. I'm talking to these people out here who talking about black history. They trying to put you in a museum like you a destroyed people. Don't you see that? If you keep talking about a people's past, they have no future. If you keep talking about what people did, then there's no focus on what they will do. They're putting you as a memory now. Black people. And as far back you can go in history about black is slavery. Black don't take you beyond slavery. So get out of that term being called black. All it means is a slave. So I'll be playing this soon for a while now. And I hope I hear some of y'all repeating it on other forums. I'm not going to spend the time to develop this channel to show you big images and all that. It's not necessary. You get the truth by hearing it. You don't need to see anything. Just listen and evaluate what you hear. And when you have your own supermarkets, your own department stores, your own businesses, then you won't have nobody following you around, accusing you of stealing, calling the police saying you look suspicious. You are a suspect. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you are in a neighborhood that doesn't it's not your neighborhood, then everyone has a right to question why you there. You need to know what neighborhood means. The people in the neighborhood are of one mind. It's not for you to just go there and do your own thing and think people are going to automatically have to accept you. No, it's a community. See, that's the problem with people now. They don't have their community, and you want to force you want to force yourself in another person's community. Are you mad? Have you lost your mind? You're gonna force somebody to accept you in their community and call it diversion, equity, and inclusion. You're mad. You're mad. You're not even thinking straight. So the solution, people, is just stop being lazy and build your own communities. That's what everybody else does. That's where I grew up in the 50s and 60s. We had our own community. And I miss that so much. I miss those communities because we had love. We had people care about us. You go in the store today, you have some problems finding something. There's nobody there who want to help you like that. But if somebody from that community have a problem, oh, they're there to help them. That's the way it is. You can't change that. Birds of a fellow, birth of a feather flock together. You look after your own before anybody else. So, people, why don't you have your own? What's wrong with you? You're celebrating your death when you talk about Black history, because that's all it represents. It represents a dead people. What can you be proud of? Getting your head knocked down, being dog sick on you. What is there to be proud about that? What did you get from it? Okay, let's look at that. What did all that accomplish? 60 years later, you still in you still foreigners in another paying neighborhood, and the police want to know why you in that neighborhood, and they stop you. That's my most of the time when people are stopping these cars, it's because they're outside of their neighborhoods. The people around there don't look nothing like them, so you are suspect. And the police want to know, what are you doing here? Why are you here? So you see why it's important to have your own community? Nobody can ask you why you're here in your own community. But if you enjoy, it's like you got a death wish. You love to be rejected by other people. You love. I'm just tired of talking. Any questions in the chat? Hey, what's going on? What's up? I done talked it out. I done talked it out. 15 minutes. That's what I promise you. So go back and listen. And if you have some questions, ask me. I will answer you to the best of my ability. And I love you who love truth, peace, freedom, and justice. If you love that, then I got love for you. If you're about slavery and oppression, no, we don't have nothing to talk about.